Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening. It is 8:02 by our reckoning, so that means it's time for another episode of Real Talk. I am Ian. This is not my wife. This is
Phoenix.
And Mom is actually, give me a quick second. Mom is just coming in right now.
Is 8 o'clock already?
Okay. So I'm Ian, this is Phoenix. She's sitting from our mom is in class and she's going to be joining us shortly. However, we are of Big Family Life in the Simpson family home and 4Fs with the Simpson family. The 4Fs representing faith, family, food, and fitness. Faith because we believe we can do all things through Him who loves us. Family because aside from God, there's nothing more important on this earth. Food because food is medicine. And fitness because we believe overall wellness can be attained and achieved by pursuing a strong mind, soul, and body. Hence the 4Fs and the ability of by grace under God to manifest your best life. This is a segment we call Real Talk, and where we go into some, family thing. We just like to get into real world issues. Tonight we going to talk to Mom. She's going to be along shortly. However, I'm here with Phoenix this evening. She's going to sit in with Mom for a couple minutes, and I just wanted to, last night we were speaking on how we manage the time for all the children in the house and so on and so forth, right? And I alluded to the fact that when we really feed into the interests of the children, right? When they show some interest into something, we try to feed into that as best as we can. For instance, now Phoenix loves to bake, and so we try. What did you get just yesterday? Turn down your water pressure, please. Ryder, it's way too high. Thank you. What came in? Was it yesterday or the day before?
I think it was the day before.
Okay.
We got some new baking tools.
What was it? Hey, shut it off, please. Thank you. What was it?
A cake turntable. A fondant.
Fondant. Fondant. Try again. Fondant. Don't.
No. And
just some knickknacks, and what that is as well. Around Christmas, Christmas last year, this past Christmas, Mom actually got her a starter esthetician kit, like to do nails and things like that. That's something else that she does. She likes to do nails, so she does her sister's nails. She's not proficient enough as yet to do Mom's nails. Oh, here, baby has some nails here. There you go.
she peeled off some.
She peeled off some already, but that's okay. Here, you come right up in the camera here, baby. See there? And she do. I mean, you did your. Oh, you peeled off yours already. And she does her
Still
sister.
has hers, I think.
Yeah. At any rate, and so the idea is just quite simply that we try to feed into their interests and their likes and dislikes and hobbies and so on and so forth, and so that way we're able to keep them busy and better manage their screen time. And it's obviously, it's not a situation where there's zero screen time or, screen time is at an absolute minimum or anything like that. We just believe that all things in moderation, the same way that you would spend some time doing your schoolwork, watching TV right now. The kids are watching, they're still involved in the Avengers marathon there, and they're up to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and they're watching, finishing up just before bed. And so, it's not that there is like strict even shackles or regulations about what the kids do. It's just we just like to monitor. We just like to monitor what they do. We like to be involved. It's a concerted effort. We're just consciously involved in the lives of our children. For instance, we have developed what we call the circle of trust. And so before all of this, when we were, more out in the free world, so to speak, we develop our family circle of trust, and of course, that would include the children's friends and so on and so forth. So, we try to just create a space as much as possible where the children feel safe coming to us, and that way we can trust that if there's any difficulty, that they will be in a place where they can come to us and know that it's safe to do so. And it looks like Mom's ready, so thank you, sweetheart.
Bye.
See you. Here comes our rock star. Round of applause for the rock star. Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. Here the rock star. Yeah.
No, she has to go to the washroom.
Hey, Bentley, down, please. Down. Out to the bathroom and then back to. Mercedes has been just horrible, a horrible little girl today, and yeah, so she's spending time in time out, as it were. So yeah.
She gets up and she goes and does the same thing.
And then she goes right back in.
Hi, Shelby.
Oh, hey Shelby, God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. Hey TikTok, God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. Hey YouTube, Facebook, God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. So, my wife, the rock star. Yeah. So we had a conversation this evening, and I asked the question. I said, "Well, how many years are you in now?" And she's like, "Well, let's do this quick math, and it's like 3 years
Yeah, it didn't feel like 3 years.
already."
And it's like another 2 more.
Let me take this quick question here. This is Real Talk with the Simpson family, 4S Faith Family Food and Fitness. So
Bentley.
Oh, boy.
it's family-oriented programming. Go lock him up, please. It's family-oriented programming, and we are here today to celebrate my wife, who not only is a mother of our blended family of 10, 11 if you count me. She is also a full-time student, full-time mom, and overall rock star. So yeah, give us a share so we can get some more people in here to celebrate her. She actually just got out of class. We're a little bit late. She just got out of class this evening. She just had an exam this afternoon. 84%. Yeah.
Are we clapping?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just here to celebrate her and to pour into her and lift her up before our God and thank Him for her and to just, ask Him to continue to bless her and, our family through her. Baby.
Yeah, like you said, we were doing the math 3 years already. And I did also, I think, spring and summer classes this past year. And it's 2 more years yet.
Thank you, Cousin Di. God bless you.
2 more years left. And it's funny because I went back to school 17 years?
17 years later.
18 years after graduating high school. And so it's been trial and error. However, I really loved this last year because I was home.
Social anxiety runs deep in the family, not even gonna lie. We've all been thriving since having to stay home and study. It's just, yeah.
And it's like I have accommodations, and it's something that because of my anxiety. And so when you're in a classroom of like 200 students, I actually had to be seated next to a door. I had to be seated next to an exit because anxiety would start acting up, and I needed somewhere where I can just like escape as soon as possible.
If need be.
Yeah, and there was like one day, I don't know, when you go to classes with younger adults, and they have, they kind of play games, whatever, and somebody thought it was funny to yell out in class, and I went into a full-blown anxiety attack and took off. And so, like, I'm an adult, but however, when you're dealing with a high-stress situation, it just reminded me that, yeah, those accommodations were there for me because of my social anxiety and also PTSD. Any kind of loud bang, whatever, would trigger me. So, yeah, this year has been amazing because I get to stay home. And all the kids are home, husband is home. And I love it, but the only, I think, is the compartmentalizing is the only other thing that was really hard for me. So where I can like, okay, class time is this time, and then family time, and then other time.
Right.
So I had to really, it's been a struggle in that aspect. because the bedroom is my classroom and my homework, and yeah, so it's really hard to be stuck in the room when, like today, for example, I was studying all morning, so I was in the class, or in my class, I was in my room all morning studying, and then have a test at 3 o'clock, which is a 2-hour test, and then come out, hang out for a bit, and then I'm back in the room for class for another hour and a half. So it's interesting. It's fun, but it's also interesting, and our team wouldn't work without him.
Well,
Because for me, our team, I'm saying, is because for me, you are, like, I'm in class, and then he's out here cooking. He's out here keeping an eye on the kids, keeping them busy, and then that way I'm able to focus on what needs to be done. Because I feel like I'm focusing on what needs to be done, because I have to get through these years and get the grades that are required, because then, you know, it'll help us in the future. So it's teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork makes the dream work. And I mean, this is really a huge part of why I saw a comment on our page, one of our posts, and someone had said that in response to watching a few of our videos that we post on our platform, on our YouTube platform, follow the link, and they had said that in a negative kind of way, it meant to be a negative kind of way. They said that I ran my house like a drill sergeant. That I ran my house like something like a drill sergeant. And it was meant to be an insult, 100. And I couldn't help but smile. Hi, God bless you, we see you. Thank you for stopping in. And I couldn't help but smile because I thought, what an outstanding model. Love it or hate it, that is an outstanding model for developing individuals of character, morality, integrity. Now, whether or not, and I say that and I mean that, I stand with conviction behind that. Now, the hand that guides the sword, if the hand that guides the sword is not benevolent, we cannot blame the sword. Is that fair?
Yeah. But also, even if it, you know, in the context of a, you know, drill sergeant, that's structure and routine.
Discipline, structure, and routine.
That's the importance of, because we have so many people, we all have different schedules, and I am the
Yes.
I have the what do you call it? Like the keeper of the agendas. I'm the yeah. So everybody's schedule, like I'm scheduling everybody.
What is that? What is that?
Calendar?
Calendar.
On the calendar?
No. Yeah. Like, I mean, what is that you have? You said you always need one. It's not a schedule.
I have a day planner. And
that's it. She's the day planner.
Yeah.
No barking.
So, like, I'm keeping track. Okay, this person needs to be here. This one needs to be there. This needs to be done by this time. So
Yes.
I actually have a day planner where I'm okay. Days are broken down. I have classes at this time. And so then I'm able, which reminds me, I forgot to do something today, however.
Are we good? Are we okay?
We can do it tomorrow.
Pick up babies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on me. That was for me to go pick up baby as a package at the school. Remote schooling, baby has the package at the school. And that's for me to go there at Waterford, just around the corner here, and pick it up and bring it back for her. Domestic day planner extraordinaire. 100%, cousin Diane. 100%. On top of everything else that she does. And I mean, I'm going to take a moment here and just, I'm going to go ahead and just, when I met my wife, and it wasn't all that long ago that we met. However, I'm not a young man anymore. I noticed that I was, anyways, the thing that set her apart from anybody that I'd ever met and anybody I'd ever had feelings for was quite simply this: her ability to continually speak life into me and everything that I do. And I mean, when you have someone behind you beside you, pardon me, let me correct myself. When you have somebody beside you that continually speaks life into everything that you do. You have a sense of empowerment that says that there's nothing you cannot accomplish. And I thank you for that, baby. That's probably your single best feature, is your ability to just speak life. And I have to, I'm a humble man, and I don't claim to know God's will. However, I'd have to say that would be pleasing to God. The ability to just speak life.
And so, yeah, it's part of, I guess it's just the makeup of who I am. However, usually when I put myself on a task, I want to complete that task and do it to the best of my ability. And so, starting school later on in life and walking into a setting where I was very uncomfortable. However, I was able to connect myself with a program through the University of Manitoba, which is the Access program, and it's, Indigenous based. So I was able to start my first year and take classes which were, consisted of, 20 plus students. So a smaller class size, usually an Indigenous teacher or professor, and then, access to like tutors or, it was just, it made it so much better. It made it so much easier. It made it so much welcoming, because you had one portion of the university that, is this big whole campus that was for you. So you had access to computers, you had access to printers, you have access to supports right in this one area. And I felt at home, because you can hear the language being spoken. You have, other Indigenous students there, and also other students that, just felt comfortable there. So it was really nice, and they, it was really encouraging. And still, I'm still connected with them. However, just not as in depth, because now my class sizes are bigger. However, I still have the supports that I can reach out to. So that's,
And I mean, just to speak for a moment, speak into the benefit of having her at home. So studying from home. So anxiety. So I was coming off the hip replacement surgery in year 2, right? Year 2 of university, and we had just moved over to this end of the city, and so on and so forth, and so she, throughout the course of the day, at the time she was still attending on campus, and throughout the course of the day she's in constant communication. We're in constant, we just, we're like that. We're just like that. We don't really. We talk to each other. that's just, we're really close. She's my best friend. I don't know if I'm her best friend, but she's my best friend, and we're just really close. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna assume. You've got a lot of important people in your life that have been there for a really long time. So I mean, I'm not gonna, at any rate, so one afternoon I was sitting at home, and what it was is that I did a lot of gardening year 1 here, simply because I was, I didn't have a great deal of mobility, and I'd just come off the hip replacement and so on and so forth, right?
And you were home by yourself.
Yeah, and I was home by myself. It's so interesting. That's how this journey started, because there's cameras here. So whenever they looked on the camera, they would, when they were coming home, and the kids, they would see me either cleaning something or baking or something like that, and they thought that's all I ever did, right? And the thing is like, I had a good idea. Go put her in the kennel, please. I had a good idea of when they would be like checking in on me. So like whenever they checked on me, I made sure I was doing something. So that day, however, I left my phone downstairs for whatever reason, and I was outside doing some gardening. And so she had called. What part of the city are we in now? We're in Northwest, so close to Tyndall Park and Maples. And so she called, and I missed the call. And by the time I got back into the house to touch base with her and see that she'd called, she was planning her way home. A cab was on the way, because this is anxiety. She'd go into that worst case scenario possible, and I had fallen down the stairs with because I was on crutches and so on and so forth, and I obviously was hurt and in need of assistance and couldn't get to the phone. And so she was, fortunately I got back to her and called her. However, she was on her way.
I was on the bus already, planning to meet a cab at the next stop just to.
Because being at the university, just the layout of the city, it's easier to catch the bus to Polo Park than cab from there, that type of thing. So that's anxiety, that's kind of what that looks like. And healing is so very interesting, because when I remember we've been in therapy now I've been in therapy myself for the better part of my adult life, off and on, trying to just get a handle of trauma, addiction, and get a direction on, who I wanted to be, right? And so when we've been in therapy since before CEB, and a lot of trauma, and we're over here trying to break generational curses. The beauty of it is that none of the trauma was created by us, through us, for us, right? But just past lived life experience, right? And the thing is that when you get to that healing place, right, where you're doing real work, it was so interesting, because for me, it was such a difficult thing at times, because so Selena, our therapist, God bless her, we love her so much, she explained it to me. The idea is that, it was so important to me for my wife to have a voice and know that she had a voice, right? So, I tried as best as I could to just empower her to feel safe to speak. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, shoot, I didn't tell you to have a voice just so you could use it against me. You know what I mean? I was feeling so picked on, right? And so Selena, God bless her, she explained to me what was happening. And this was huge. This was absolutely huge. She said that in the process of creating a safe space for us to exist, not just her, but for me, the kids, in the process of creating a safe space for us to exist, oftentimes that happens because, she's empowered now and feels safe enough now. And then that's where some of that lateral violence comes in, where things that are said that aren't even necessarily directed at me, how it triggers. And that was just so very useful, and just such a wonderful piece of information to get, because it was like, oh, okay, wow, it's not personal. Okay, she's not starting to hate me for whatever reason, I don't know,
I just wanted, the one viewer there says, when did you guys meet? We actually met in 2017. We met.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. God bless. Yeah.
We met in 2017. And then it says, not to be rude or anything, but why do you talk about this stuff? The reason why we talk about this stuff is to take away that stigma, that shame, that judgment, because it's rather to be open and share what we've been through so that we could help others and let them know that they're not alone.
Fact.
So it's why hide something that we're going through when somebody can relate to it.
Or be helped and act of service in some small way. I mean, if this speaks to somebody's heart and encourages them and say, just hold on, your blessing is just around the corner. God did it for us, he'll do it for you. It's really just that simple.
And see, and that's, that is a fair question. However, because I've always struggled with judgment, because I am a people pleaser. I never like to let people down. I don't like to, however, for me on this journey, when we had started together, I was very hesitant, because I didn't want anybody into my business, this and that. However, working it through and talking about it, and after a couple times, I was able to see that people are able to relate. People are able to ask questions. People are able to heal, even if it's just a little piece where they can actually say, "Hey, I'm going through this that's similar to you," because people think they're alone when they're going through situations, and you're not really alone.
Never alone.
So.
Never alone. If for that reason alone, that we can talk to somebody who's going through right now and let them know that, hey, you're not alone, just hold on. The fact that you got up out of bed this morning, you're a rock star, right? The fact that, you made it through your day, the fact that you made it this far. You're a rock star. You're doing a great job. God ain't done with you yet. Just hold on. Your blessing is right around the corner. And yeah, that's why we do this, because all I have left is my testimony about the grace and glory of God. And I'm committed that, you know, he did it for us. He'll do it for you. He'll do it for you. That time in the Simpson family home.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like I missed.
Bedtime.
It was
And that's yeah. I feel like I missed the whole day, and that's the downside to it, because I've been busy doing what needs to be done, and then it's already bedtime. So, oh wow.
Yeah, she's got to eat and everything else, but she's just being yeah.
No, what to do with the dishes.
Huh?
The dishes, because I'm the washer.
Who?
Me.
What are we talking about?
The dishes.
What about the dishes?
What do I do with them? Because they're still...
I will take care of it later. It's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Buckwheat versus before you
Huh?
go back, please.
That's great.
Oh, Auntie Diane said goodnight, all.
Good. Yeah. Auntie Diane said good night. Ryder's got to come in for his hug here. And I mean, this big family life in the Simpson family home. We are a blended family of 10, with 8 of the children here living in the home with us, and mom and myself.
And 2
Why?
dogs.
Oh! Wait a second. I've got here. Why do good people die? And I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and assume that you know, that's in question. If God is good, why do good people die? I love you. How do you know that person wasn't so good that God decided to take him from this wicked and sinful world?
No, sir. Just keep on.
I don't know the will of God. I don't pretend to know the will of God. I'm not, no. All I'm sitting here telling you is that he has been good to me. He has been good to us. And we'll continue to praise him. You know? That's a fair question. Why do good people die? Maybe they're just too good for this world. And he decided to bring them home. Because my conviction of belief is this: when I go, I no longer have a fear of death. I'm not morbid. I don't wish to die. I have my beautiful wife, my children. I have so much to live for. I'm not morbid in any way, shape, or form. I don't wish to die. Having said that, my conviction of belief is just quite simply that where I'm going, or where I hope to go, is better than where I'm at. And I'm raising my children and leading my family in such a way that I'm preparing them to come there with me. So I know I'll see them again. Right? And the thing is that, you know, I'm worried about it. I know people will say that, you know, good. Auntie Debbie said good night, kids. Said that I know I can't go because, you know, too many people are relying on me, I'm keeping too many. Nobody relying on me, because I'm relying on God. And I trust that the same way that he's keeping us alive while I'm here is the same way he's going to keep care of them when I'm gone. Right? So I no longer have a fear of death. Right? You know, because really and truly, at the end of the day, we're all just living to die. It's the natural progression of life. I can't even call it an end. I've never experienced it. I don't know what it is. Is it the next step? I believe it is. I believe it's not the end of my journey. I don't believe that I was created and then lived this life to just become worm food for the rest of eternity. I don't buy into that. You know what I mean? I don't know the will of God. I don't pretend to know the will of God. All I'm here telling you is that he's been good to me. And he did it for me, he'll do it for you. Baby.
It's good. I'm gonna put it on.
Sorry, I got into the pineapple here. There's a fruit platter here.
Because I need it for my alarm.
So yeah, but it's
Stop.
already what, 8:30, and it feels like the day is already done for the family pretty much, and I think this is one of the our alone time, because our kids all the small ones are gone to bed, so this is the time actually for us to just decompress at the end of the day. So for me, that's
Where I am, it's 9:30. You're just an hour ahead of us, yeah.
And so this is the time that I usually get to watch
Actually,
my
we're at
movie.
8:30 p.m. Sorry, so I don't know. Maybe it's 9:30 a.m. there. I'm not entirely sure. However, we're p.m. here.
Yeah.
Sorry, sweetheart.
No, and it's this is also a very important part of our day because with everything going on during the day, we have kids for school, we have gym, they have a lot errands to run. Like if there's appointments, whatever, we're just kind of crossing paths where you got to get our ship going. However, this is usually the time of the day where it's just the two of us, and we get to spend that time one-on-one and also do whatever activity. For me, I watch TV shows. That's the only way I can shut off my brain at night.
She's into Criminal Minds now. Criminal Minds.
Seasons.
Criminal Minds. She's finally up to where what's his name is gone now, and the other guy replaced him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't remember.
You don't
I
remember?
see.
She's been watching these shows for like 2 weeks now, every night for 2 weeks, and she don't remember the name of the characters. I'm like, and legit, when she says she just watches to turn off her brain, she literally watches to turn off her brain, because I don't know that not a lot of it sinks in. It's just the act of unwinding.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's so funny. He's like, "Oh, did you watch this part? Do you know who this is?" And these are movies that I've probably watched 5-6 times. And he goes, and I'm like, "No."
What season are you
I'm in
on?
season 3.
Yeah, she's just early days, early days. Yeah. How many seasons are there of that? I stopped
There's like
watching.
11, I think.
Yeah, I stopped watching.
Not even
I really I stopped watching. But I mean, Shamar still looked good, right? I mean, you guys remember Shamar Moore, right? Young and the Restless. Watch till season 15. Wow, I don't think I even got that deep. I don't think I stopped years ago.
He'll jump in at some point.
No, I won't. I don't really do TV much anymore.
I know, but
I
it's
don't
like
know.
he does watch them in his sleep. Let me just say that.
I watch in my sleep. Last night she said to me, "I thought that you were watching. I thought you were writing it with me," and then I heard. I was like, yeah. I mean, I caught the first. My mom watched all of the Criminal Minds. I mean, I love Criminal Minds because it's it's more psychological than anything else.
Yeah, and those are the ones that I enjoy.
Yeah. And I used to also really enjoy CSI. CSI Las Vegas with Horatio. Oh, excuse me, with Grissom. Not CSI Miami with Horatio. Horatio, he just too much of a cop and not enough of a scientist, whereas Grisham was more of a scientist and not. So I really felt Grisham. He was just pretty cool. I liked him.
Dexter I watched all the seasons of Dexter. That was a very gruesome show.
Never saw any of the Dexters.
Yeah, I had the whole season on DVD and I gave them away.
Yeah, never
Yeah.
got in there. Oh, he's a surgeon and he was a also
No, he
murderer.
was, he was a blood expert for the police, and then he was a murderer at the same
Right,
time. And then he
yeah.
was like almost getting caught every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never got. You were telling me a little bit about it. Never really got it. And see, that's what when she lived out in the communities before coming to the city. With television reception and everything being so shoddy and
Well, it was there. It was so much easier just to put in a DVD. Because even with, because I was working full time, 6 kids, and, having to be here, there, wherever, hockey, I was never able to actually sit down and watch TV shows, like, with the programming, right? Like, every Wednesday night was whatever. I was never home. So I was never able to actually get into a show, so I'd have to watch, or just buy the season and then watch them as it. Yeah. But yeah, that was the only way. Because I didn't never have the PVR or whatever you call them.
I don't. The technology.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't have
whatever.
that.
Here's one. Does anybody remember? Okay, I'm gonna really date myself right now. I don't think anyone here is as old as I am. I'm gonna be 50 this summer. Does anybody remember the show The Greatest American Hero? Criminal Minds is in fact the best. Yes, you live in Canada, Ontario. We live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is just a province west of Ontario. Does anybody remember The Greatest American Hero? That TV show. When I was a kid, growing up, I watched that show. I used to love that show. It was this guy, he found a superhero suit, and but it didn't come with a manual, but it came with like a Jiminy Cricket guy that kind of gave him clues and hints and the whole thing all about the life. Check out Elementary or The Mentalist. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about The Mentalist.
Yeah, I'll have to look at those ones.
We got into a little bit of heard of it, never watched it. Eh? Okay, awesome. We got into a little bit of Breaking Bad too. We got into that a little bit. That's just really...
It was more annoying than anything.
I was just waiting for him to become a total BA, and he just never did. But we didn't get deep enough. The Greatest American Hero, I'm pretty sure that's what it was called.
I haven't even heard any. I've never even
The
heard
Greatest
it.
American Hero. At one point he puts on the suit and he's able to fly, and the whole thing is that he's just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And it was what about Captain Caveman?
You're still a baby. You're still a baby. Who, me or him?
Oh, hey, Eric. Hi, Debbie. God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Thank you. Yeah. Your mama said you heard of it once too, right? The Greatest American Hero. So it's not a myth, right? It's not in my mind because sometimes I just don't know. But I mean, what? What, baby?
Eric
This
says,
is
bring
Eric.
back
God bless
ball
you.
diary.
Bring back. Eric changed his tag just to come in and send a message to us. It says that Eric says bring back basketball diaries.
Well, you know what? Maybe tomorrow.
If the big guy's not working, we'll bring him in for an episode.
If he's in tomorrow, we'll check to see if he's available and see if he'll
100%. 100% we'll bring him in for an episode. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate you. That's the best, buddy. That is great. He changed his name just so he could send us a message. We appreciate the support. We love you. God bless. But yeah, pouring into mom. Let's get back to it because I mean, this is blended family of 10, and then when you count me, like 10 kids, right? So then when you count me, that's 15. You know, because I'm a handful.
And then Callie's another 5.
Callie's at least 7 by herself.
So
that's the baby.
And it really is the 2 of them that I have to really watch because, yeah, they...
They're in bed sleeping. Here, watch this. Woo! You see?
Oh, she's right there.
She just knew. She's just making her way out here. That's my boo right there. They can't mess with her because, like...
Yeah, they are trouble. And so... Not trouble, but once one gets going, like they'll be sitting here quietly and then all of a sudden one starts singing, the other one starts singing, and then, yeah.
Then it's a party.
Yeah.
Why not? Quiet can be so boring at times. You know? And then, no, the children, the thing is, the beautiful thing about our children is the 8 of them can be home. I had to change the name. When you guys were little, have you ever seen Roly Poly? Yeah, it was a kid's show. He's red hat, yeah, Roly Poly. Yeah, I remember Roly Poly.
I think that must have been about Tom and Jasmine.
Bless, we're there, you know. Good night, sweetheart. And the beautiful thing about the children is that all 8 of them can be in the home, and it'll be quiet as a church mouse in here. Because they are great respecters of persons.
Yes.
Parties had wheeze. When I was younger, parties had wheeze. When I was younger, parties had pizza and awkward dancing in the basement. That's about it. However, though, when I got into my teen years, we had these really wild house parties that were just really great because we had back in the 80s and 90s, like DJing was a real thing back then, and we always had a couple DJs in our crew. So when a house party popped off, coffin steering, turntables, mixer, so it was live. It was a lot of fun, and a couple of guys were in New York back and forth a lot, and so a lot of the music and a lot of the trends, really did make it here before its time, and so we were able to have a lot of fun doing the house parties back in the day. How many kids do we have? Between the 2 of us, we have 10. We have 10 kids, 6 and 4, and so all day we have 6 boys and 4 girls.
Yes.
And the oldest is Nathan. He is 25. Noah is 22.
Cadence is 18.
Jasmine is
Jordan.
Jordan is 17. Jasmine is 16. Phoenix is 14. Ryder's 13. Bucky is Justice is 12. I'm done.
Buck is 10. And Callie is 8.
Baby Blue is 8. And 8 of them live here in the home with us, and they all go to school remotely. Even the big guy, even though
Post-secondary as well.
Post-secondary, he's going remotely as well, as same as mine.
Yeah.
And so I'm 15 next month. Hey, good for you! Congratulations! Happy birthday in advance. Make sure that you come check us out. We can sing you, get the kids on here, sing you happy birthday, right? Yeah, 100%. And so I was just managing all of this. The ability to manage all of this and not go insane, and then dealing with her own personal issues and her own personal demons, and I mean, that's why my vote for Mom of the Year this year and every year, roly poly oly, cousin Di, will be my lovely wife. I like your guys' sweater. Thank you. Yeah, Queen.
Yeah. I got this as a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
From
Hey,
the
get
kids.
out. Hey, what's up, buddy? Come to say hi, but yeah, you can't. See. Oh yeah, go get
Her laugh said no. For me, it's like I have a hard time. I have a nervous laugh, and so it's I don't actually take compliments very well. So that's what that is.
I mean, this is not the easy. This is okay. You're right. Thank you. This is probably one of the more difficult things for her to do, to just endure sitting here and just being poured into. It's not something that is comfortable for her, because she comes from a place where it might have been a weapon, or used in a negative way, or you know what I mean. However, this is just genuine and real love and appreciation and admiration, really. I mean, what she's accomplished. I mean, 6 kids, right? And I mean, to come up out of what she came up out of, and I just feel like her story is so very important to women everywhere. It's such a tale of empowerment. And I mean, I come on here and I brought her into this because I really believe, genuinely, really and truly, for me, it's an act of service. I just come on here and I want to praise and worship my God and say how good He's been to me. For her, it's more to say that I believe that she can help others. She can help other women of all ethnicities, nationalities, cultures, to just understand that there is a better day. You can overcome. You can. She did it. You can do it too. And I know that's an oversimplification, and I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say that. I don't. I would offer her, the Bible says that no one lights a lamp and puts a shade over it. It says when you light a lamp, you put it on a high place so that all can see by the light, right? And I would hold her up as an example to other women to say that, hey, you can do this too. You can do this too.
Sorry, I just want to say.
Yeah, I don't. What's that?
I'm trying to just reach this real quick. I know Debbie answered my question. I said, either me or you, and she said both. Still babies.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, age is nothing but a number, though, isn't it? Age is nothing but a number. And she is younger than I am, right? 12 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 years younger than I am, so.
I actually had to calculate how old I was turning this year. I had totally forgot. I thought I was actually older.
And that happened to me, too, in my 30s. I gained a year. I was convinced I was turning old. I was so ready for it, too. I think it was my 40th birthday. I was so absolutely ready for it. I was actually disappointed I was still only 39. Those are those big numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like 21.
Oh, it's your big number this year.
Yeah, half a century.
Too bad we can't have a party.
What you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean we can't have a party? We gonna have a party.
No, like not
Like a real party?
A real party. Like, cause I want to dance, and I can't go dance anywhere.
Do you think it's easier to be an adult or a kid?
You know what's so funny? I always wished when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I wish I could be 18 now.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I hit 18, the years just started flying by, and I'm like, I wish I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So don't ever wish you want to be 18, because once you hit 18, that's it. Yes, the years just fly by.
I'm not quite as much as a pessimist as that. I would say this. Don't be in too much of a hurry to grow up.
Right.
Because these are, I'm hoping that these are some of the best years of your life. I would speak that into your life, and I know that's what God would want for you. And to stay in the moment. A great lesson that our therapist taught us was that a lot of depression is rooted in the past because we're worried about the mistakes that we made in the past. A lot of anxiety is worry about the future. We're nervous about things that we have no control of, or haven't yet become, or will never be, may never be. And so, the best thing is to just stay in the moment. I read this wonderful piece of inspiration when I was in jail in 2015, and it was on the wall of the chapel, and it said, I am. And I'm going to paraphrase. I don't remember it exactly. I kept all of that. It's in my notes somewhere, and I can dig it out. However, I'm going to paraphrase. It says, don't look for me in the past. I'm not there. Don't look for me in the future. I'm not there. Look for me in this moment. That's why I'm named I am. And that was those were just some very encouraging words in some very difficult times for this individual. And so I would say to you, is it more difficult to be an adult or a child? Regrettably, I fear that in the day and age that we live in, it's probably more difficult to be a child with all the pressures that you have, all the exterior forces tugging and pulling at you and pulling you in different directions. And I would just encourage you to stay close to God, because God has a special place in his heart for his children. And
No, I was just going to say, children now don't have social media. Or have social media. We didn't have social media when we were kids, and that was the best, because now nothing comes back to haunt us.
I mean, please remember that once you put something out there, the delete button is a fallacy. It's a lie. Once it's out there for good.
Yeah.
Regrettably, you have individuals that take advantage of that, and I will be 60. Oh, what? What?
Wow.
God bless you. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Fine wine just get better with age. God bless you. Good for you. Wow. We thought he was your son. Andreas is her oldest grandson, and she will be 62 next month. Please come by so we can celebrate you. We will sing, and wow. And wow, yeah. And but yeah, just hold on, stay in this moment and enjoy. What's one place that is an incomplete sentence, I think. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got you. One place we always wanted to go. You first, baby.
I actually been thinking about this. There's a couple of places I've always wanted to go. One is actually Iceland.
Because it's not cold enough in winter.
No, I'd have to go because I heard there's it's where my dad's ancestors are from. The other place is I want to go to Jamaica. I want to go see where you were born, and the heat. I like heat. I mean, Justice already planned that we're going to move to Jamaica and then fly to Winnipeg for Christmas and fly back.
And I mean, just as a brief aside to add to the rock starness of my wife, her distant cousin, the Mountain from Game of Thrones, Thor Bjornsson, half Thor Bjornsson, world's strongest man, distant cousin. We sent him an invitation to the wedding, but he didn't. Her great granddad was the first Icelandic born in North America.
Auntie Sharon messaged me after we had done one episode, and so it's in my messages somewhere. However, she was able to give me the correct numbers, so to actually like how many grandfathers back that he is.
First
Right,
Icelandic born in North
Yeah.
America, and one of the first Icelandic on North American shores, correct, as well?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Granddad, Papa Kurt, came by the last summer and brought us a couple of heirlooms and a couple of trinkets that were hand beaded by a blind person in 1904. That's a fantastic little thing. Family heirloom. I don't know how it passed down, but it's fantastic, and he shared that with us. But yeah, my wife being a rock star, 10 kids, blended family, and still able to be 3 years into her degree. You full-time student, full-time mom, managing all these personalities, having to deal with me and my idiosyncrasies, and finding out that I'm not the rock that I always believe myself to be, that, the safe place that we've created for our family to exist. And hi, God bless you, thank you for stopping in, 1204 Faith. Creating in the process of creating this safe space for us to exist, then, looking at my personal issues, then I realized that, now I'm not a rock solid, whatever. I thought, I've got to deal with anxiety and this, that, and the other, and it's okay, because mental health issues, there's no shame, there's no stigma. It's important. And when you're trying to crush generational curses, as we're over here trying to do, and deal with generational traumas, it's just really important work. And we are absolutely committed to it, because we believe that we're worth it, and our children are worth it. And certain behaviors that the older kids have to endure, the younger kids, they won't even see. And the same way I'm preparing our daughters to be ladies is the same way I'm preparing our sons to be gentlemen. You know what I mean? There is no onus on one over the other. You know what I mean? The same way you are to be mindful or respectful of your mom is the same way you are being to be mindful and respectful of any woman that you encounter, because that is somebody's mom, that is somebody's daughter, that is somebody's, so that is another human being, that is another child of God, and that is how He would have it.
Oh, I wanted to ask something about the phone video. Your oldest kids have a phone.
Yes, the oldest kids do have phones. We decided that the number is 16 for us. For us, the
Or they
number
can
is
pay
16.
their own bill.
or unless they can pay their own bill. Our broke best friends.
Yeah.
So the oldest kid, Noah, of course, is employed and going to school, and he's an adult, and he's very good at adulting, and he does his own thing to a certain extent within the confines of the home. Jasmine and Jordan, they both have their own cellular phones, but the interesting thing for Jasmine and Jordan is, as a consequence for some poor behavior, you can pay your own bill at 16, though. Yeah, they
That's
need
true.
a job, though. they need a job. So as a consequence for some suspect behavior months ago, we told them that the phones were to be turned in before bed every night, and that was months ago. And the thing is that even though the phone in your room at night, even though you're not answering the text messages, even though you're not taking the phone calls, as the phone, unless you're putting the phone on airplane mode, not even vibrate, but airplane mode, every time the phone notifies that ding, that ding, that beep, it brings you up out of those levels of deep sleep and brings you closer to that surface level sleep, and it interrupts your sleep, and then you're not as fully rested as you should be. And I mean, they're both still in school, so they've seen the benefit of it, and they've left the
Decided to
phones
go,
out
yeah.
of their room. They go to bed on the weekends. It's a different story. They take the phones in on the weekends, but during the week they turn in the phones before bed, and that's their own choice at this point. And so they've seen the benefit in the quality of their rest, and they've made that decision on their own.
Well, baby, it's coming up to
Yes, ma'am.
and the day is over for myself. And so tomorrow we will check in with Noah and see if he's available.
Yeah.
And the guys will get into hopefully basketball diaries.
Get an episode of Basketball Diaries.
And so
on Real
Eric
Talk.
will touch base Is that his name? Eric?
Yeah, Eric.
I'm not sure if
He's no longer here. He left, but that's fine. He'll see it. He'll see the notification. He'll see the
Okay.
notification. He'll see the notification.
However, yes. So thank you guys for coming and stopping in and interacting. And thank you, baby, for doing what you do. Making me, yeah. I love you.
I love you, baby. She's a rock star, folks. She's an absolute rock star. She's absolutely the best. And most of my life, the best person I knew was my oldest sister, Andrea. I love her to death. She's just so sweet. And then I met my wife. And then my sister was relegated to second place. And I remember the day of our wedding, and when I told her that, and she just smiled, the biggest, most beautiful smile. And I knew she wouldn't mind. I knew my sister wouldn't mind being relegated to second place if it meant that the first place went to my wife. You know, that's one of the reasons she was always the best person in my life, because she was always pulling for me. She was always rooting for me. And I know all sisters do. However, when you're the black sheep, it's very meaningful to have somebody that still believes in you after all the nonsense that you put them through and everything else, and somebody there that still got your back, and somebody that still believes you and knows that you're capable of doing better, and continually reminds you of that, and continues to set the standard for you to try to achieve and to attain. And she was always that for me, and she still is. Love her to death. Andrea and Andrine, my second eldest sister. I mean, our connection is that our love for God, which is not to say that Andrea doesn't play. Of course she does. That's not it. Andrine and I just, her heart. I love my sisters to death, and it's just so much more important at this stage in my life, because the relationship when I was young and so foolish, it was just so tumultuous. And now that we've come full circle and we're in a place where we can just love and appreciate, it just fills me with such joy to know that they didn't give up on me. That I came out on the other end. God brought me out on the other end, and they were right there waiting for me. And that just gives me so, I'm about to get emotional, but whatever. So yeah, we're gonna cut. Yeah, family's everything. 4S, faith, family, food, and fitness. Family. Aside from God, family is everything. I learned that from my dad, and it's so interesting because the lessons that I learned from my dad, while they were hard taught, they were well learned, and they are the cornerstone of my character today. So thanks, Dad. They were hard lessons, but they were valuable, and I appreciate them. Hey, this was fun. Thanks for joining us as we celebrate my wife. She's the best person I know, hands down, hands down. We appreciate you so much. God bless. We appreciate you. God loves you. We love you. Thank you for stopping in. Hope to see you again soon. All right, baby.